At the very top of the world's financial and political pyramid sit a spiritually bankrupt and amoral elite that have created the greatest concentration of power and wealth the world has ever known. They have not reached such heights through virtue, talent, or divine favor, but from a combination of the worst traits of human behavior, such as deception, greed, and violence. As a group, the elite are characterized by a pathologically strong wish for power and control, and a shared belief that moral and legislative laws do not apply to them. As their power and influence has grown, so has their ability to sway our collective destiny. The result has been a bold reworking of reality, designed by the powerful for the benefit of the powerful. The new normal is a secular make-believe, which has no room for God or truth. Faith in God rather than the state, and truth rather than ideology, are antithetical to the establishment agenda. The worldview promoted by the elite is shallow and consumerist, where truth is extremism and God is an infantile delusion. It's a materialist world without transcendent principles, where the only gods left to worship are imaginary money and fictional authority. It is a pseudo reality because it is backed by belief systems rather than evidence. The real is rejected because it doesn't support their conclusions. In his book, The Alchemy of Finance, George Soros put it this way, quote, "Scientific method seeks to understand things as they are, while alchemy seeks to bring about a desired state of affairs. To put it another way, the primary objective of science is truth, that of alchemy, operational success." End quote. Soros outlines two antagonistic modes of thinking. The scientific method seeks to understand things as they are. Alchemy seeks to produce a desired outcome. Unlike the scientific method, in alchemy, virtues such as truth and objectivity are subordinate to the success of the mission. This is why the scientifically correct now takes a back seat to the politically correct, where what ought to be, according to the party line, takes precedence over what is. Alchemy transforms reality into fiction by training the population to see the world wrongly, in order for the elite to appear to be right when doing the wrong thing. The powers that be have increasingly positioned themselves as above and against the general population, doing everything they can to create and maintain a power differential. An ever-tightening alliance between academic, journalistic, financial, and political institutions has formed a hydra-headed monster, each head projecting the same illusion with little distinction between them. The hydra-headed monster constantly works to manipulate understanding in their favor, so that life will be lived based on their terms. An army of lobbyists, activists, and fact-checkers are the chaos monster's companions, who are paid more to lie than to tell the truth. Celebrities and public intellectuals pretend to be righteous revolutionaries, but only defend the empire's goals. Any individual, organization, or nation that promotes the pseudo-reality merges with the monster. Everything else is devoured by it. Every issue becomes a loyalty test to the regime. Any individual or institution that does not respond to the propaganda by rushing in the same direction is to be replaced with those who will. Everyone must be plugged into the same matrix, a one-size-fits-all global agenda. Establishment experts function like the voice of God, their every demand being morally necessary and unquestionable. Immunity to their insane ideas and constant sloganizing is framed as the only pathology. Like skilled hypnotists or magicians, master storytellers can bring the listener into a world of their creation. Stories can be part narration and part incantation, used to distort and mislead while they are pretending not to. A narrative based on systemic contradictions and misconceptions can create a reality distortion field where magical goals can be achieved by cunning and lies told often enough become the truth. With the right amount of propaganda, a population can even be made to swallow the bitter pill of Marxist ideology, which is responsible for so much of the cruelty and war of the 20th century. Hidden behind the mask of diversity, inclusion, and equity is a military-grade psychological operation designed to spread a toxic and contagious negativity among the population. Like the Trojan horse, the Marxist narrative may appear good on the outside, but its primary function is to spread various pathological factors. The global dictatorship of the elite has been disguised as a revolution of the racial, sexual, and gender proletariat. They pretend to be angels of light because their lies only work if they are trusted. In the symbolic language of alchemy, they use familiar words but define them differently. Public health and safety are code words for increased profit and mass compliance. Justice refers to societal collapse as a pretext for world governance. Progress refers to any lie that further enthrones the elite and enslaves the masses. The elite, like all totalitarians, are ever fearful of losing the power that they have already seized, and must resort to ever-increasing levels of lying, censorship, and violence. Their false and irresponsible ideas pose the greatest threat to life on Earth. Freedom and survival depend on seeing through the pseudo-reality that is reinforced by woke fascism. Their lies stop working when we no longer believe them. To avert the chaos monster, it is necessary to reclaim a worldview that is in correspondence with how things are, rather than in contradiction to it. Only then can we differentiate light from dark and see the privileged and occult elite for what they are, which is predatory beings with a God complex, who seek to control and exploit the masses by convincing them of a false reality. They hate the truth because the truth is unifying. The spiritual darkness of today is a product of their plan. To heal, we need nourishment from deep, life-giving roots, which are the basic human truths that provide the stability and structure necessary for growth and human flourishing. We can only have peace when there is an absence of confusion, and justice can only be built upon a foundation of truth. Jesus provides a template of behavior when he is confronted by Satan, who takes him to a very high mountain and shows him the kingdoms of the world, then said, "All this I will give you, if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus declared, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only." Like Jesus, we should deny the primacy of the material world and know that Satan cannot do anything without the consent of his victims. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe and share with others. You can support us on Patreon or connect with us on social media. We would love to hear your perspective in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.